What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdgasm for a little bit more Warsaw. So, a little bit of an explanation why we're back in the hideout right now. I was playing on a pre-release client, and so our save got knocked out when the game actually officially released into 1.0 because that client was removed and, like, the release client was downloaded. So anyways, that's why we're back at the hideout right now. A little bit of a reset, but not too much of one. But in that time, I've streamed the game a couple of times. I've learned a lot about this title, so I think you're going to get a much more informative experience from here on in because I know what I'm doing. The other reason I decided to go along with kind of this reboot instead of playing back to where we were is because in the second and third episodes, I started to do some of my impressions and, like, critiques of Warsaw, like things that I think the game could be doing better. But lo and behold, the developers have patched like 4 times in 3 days, and they fixed all the stuff that I talked about. So there's really no point uploading those episodes of me talking about things that don't exist anymore because it only serves to make me look stupid. And the developers right now are hustling like crazy and they're updating like madmen. And so everything that I complained about has been fixed already. So good news, everyone. Welcome on back to the hideout. We've got our standard team right now. We got a bad event, unfortunately, on our first day that added attrition to both Trodmishi and also Wola. Now, both those places have 1 attrition, which kind of sucks based on our starting game, our beginning, I guess, event. I did figure out what attrition does. Attrition affects how fast your morale goes down in a zone. So it's basically a force multiplier for morale loss. If you fail a mission in a location, you lose morale, but if you have, like, attrition on it, you lose even more morale because that area has already been battered and beaten and kind of messed with by the Nazi forces. So anyways, there's not really a whole lot for us to do right now except for the fact that we need to promote. So we've got ourselves 1 commendation right now. My suggestion would be, oh, they moved it. Man, they're moving things around left and right now. So last night when I was playing the game, this ability right here, which is like God tier, was a level 1 ability. And so you could get it with your first upgrade, and basically it makes the game super simple. This ability right here is incredible. It basically makes her auto-heal anybody that gets damaged. It's so good. It's incredibly good. It's a form of damage mitigation that, frankly, is incredible. It's probably the best ability in the game so far that I've seen. And today it's right here. And then like 2 days ago when I was playing on the pre-release client, it was a veteran ability. And so anyways, it's a pretty good ability, and I kind of want it. We can still rank her up so that we can get towards that ability, because until we have it, we're going to have a hard time in the missions. So we're going to upgrade her to level 2. She's going to be a rookie, and she's got 2 abilities we can choose from. So we can have somebody decrease their stamina cost by 1, or we can get an AoE heal. I think I'll go with the AoE heal. That seems pretty incredible. Let's get the AoE heal, and then we'll just throw it right on in there so that we've got that ready to go. And I also wanted to move around some skills on these guys. I'm going to take out this ability, and I'm going to put in some rifle abilities instead, because as of right now, I haven't really gotten a lot of use out of these 2 abilities. But if you run Casimir with these 4 abilities right here, he can actually fight from basically anywhere. He can fight from the front, or he can fight from the back. And he can damage just about anybody in any position. And he's actually got pretty decent accuracy with a rifle, too. So that's what I prefer to do. We have Taunt over here. We got Clear Out. All right, well, let's find ourselves a mission. I want to get back to where we were as fast as possible because the revolution waits for no man. Let's go ahead and pick a mission out here. So we've got a mission in Zolaboris. We've got a mission in Trodmishi. I'll probably take that one, I think. Yeah, we'll take the one in the zone that already has attrition because we need to stop that attrition from getting any higher. This is kind of a choice that's outside of our control right now. We don't really have much of a choice. The rest of the places don't have any attrition, so like I kind of want to get on that. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to recruit another goober over here. So he's got Ploy. Ploy is a really good ability. This is probably like the 2nd best ability in the game because it allows you to essentially auto-win any combat where the enemy has 1 turn left. It removes one of the enemy's turns. And so, like, if they've only got 1 unit left, this basically stun locks the rest of the fight until you win. It's a really good ability, so I highly recommend using it. Use it as frequently as you can. Trust me, it will help you easy mode a couple of the missions. Let's see here. So we're going to do a combat mission first. That is risky. Combat mission is tough for new characters because, after all, we are resistance fighters. We are not like frontline soldiers, and though I get the impression that some of these characters are actively like ex-military or whatever, The thing remains is that they're not, you know, supplied like their military. These guys are just resistance fighters, so we got to pick and choose our battles out here. I'm going to bring medkits and compasses with me because I found that both of those things are incredibly useful, and you kind of don't know you need them till you need them, and the game gives you plenty of them anyways, so why worry about it? Let's go ahead and find our first target over here. I'd like to clear out the map a little bit, or at least knock out the targets of opportunity that are over here while I'm in the neighborhood, just because it makes things simpler. Hopefully we don't get halted over here. Come on, don't octung me. Okay, so we've just got like a normal patrol right there. We've scouted a little bit. Let's take out this first patrol. Hopefully they're not too beefy and terrifying. If it's like a 6-man fight, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. It's not a 6-man fight. Well, good. That's what I like to see. Casimir. Oh, the dog is... Oh, there's 4 guys. Never mind. Okay, so that's a little worse. Let's start with the officer. The officer has very low HP, so he's an easy activation to remove. As I play this game more and more, so like when I played this game at first, I think the biggest problem that I ran into is that I'm an avid Darkest Dungeon player. Like, I love Darkest Dungeon. I've played it like an absurd amount. And so like, you can't help but compare this game to Darkest Dungeon, but it is actually different strategically and also play-wise. While the combat system is similar, it's different enough to where different considerations are more important in this game than they are in Darkest Dungeon. So in Darkest Dungeon, killing the fastest guy doesn't really matter. You usually want to go after healers or anybody that stacks up stress. In this game, you want to go after whoever has the lowest HP to remove their activation so that the enemy has less turns. And you want to do that aggressively and like as fast as humanly possible. In fact, if I could get them both right there with a rocket launcher, that's what I prefer to do. So let's rocket launch them out. This guy has a nutty amount of HP, which kind of concerns me. What's my hit chance on that dog right there? Like none? Okay, none chance. Thank you, game. I appreciate that. He's got a rocket launcher. I'm going to suggest we just continue bombarding this guy. Realistically, the best play I could have made right there is to go after and attack the dog to get rid of him. But his dodge and resilience are so high right now that I think we're not even going to deal damage anyways. And so, like, my advice is that we just focus on this dude real fast. Since we already hit him with a rocket launcher for 40 damage, like, he shouldn't be that hard to eliminate, I don't think. We're going to do 6 to 9 damage right there. See, I wish we were doing more damage. Like, I can target acquired him, but I'll have to get really, really lucky to kill him on this turn. I could push him out of cover pretty easily. Yeah, do it. Push him out of cover. That'll make it easier for me to kill him on the next turn. Hey, he missed his shot. He had his opportunity, and he fumbled it. Good. That's what I like to see. Guess what, pal? Sucks to be you. One less turn for the enemy. Another one is a gone. I actually really, really like this game. And the developer's work ethic has really kind of like... I was on the fence about this one after playing it for an hour or two on the pre-release client because it felt like there were certain pieces that are missing. But over like the last 3-4 days since the game released, the developers have just been like bombing this game with fixes and like balance passes and all kinds of stuff. And so anyways, all I can tell you is that they're definitely paying attention to the complaints that people have about the game, and they're doing their best to like get things situated. They've also published a full roadmap for the game for the next month that has like content. They're adding in like 3 new guns, like 4 new enemies, like 2 new insurgents. Like they're adding in a lot of stuff. And so they're moving fast, and even though, like, I don't think, like, when I checked this for my pre-release, it wasn't flagged as an early access game. It might be now, but it wasn't when I first started my coverage. But just because it's not flagged, if indeed it still isn't flagged as an early access game, because sometimes developers forget to do that on Steam, even though it isn't, this game is getting, like, a lot of content updates this month. By, like, October, like, by the end of the month, there will be a bunch of new enemies, a bunch of new characters, a bunch of new weapons, a bunch of new events, and so, like, they're doing what they got to do in order to get the game into ship shape, and that's like hustle right there. Like a lot of game developers just kind of like release something and they're like, whatever. Like they're actually like going out of their way to like fix things and add stuff, and they're doing it almost every 3 to 4 days, which is pretty nutty in the world of indie games, in all honesty. I don't know how I'm gonna get that dog out from behind cover when I can't even hit him. At least he's missing. Like, we've gotten really, really lucky with the accuracy of the enemies today. Then again, they might have adjusted it. The game patched this morning, and so it's possible that they may have adjusted some of the accuracies and whatnot. So down goes that German right there. Now we've just got this doggo over here. Don't blame him for being who he is. It's not his fault. All dogs are pure, and they're corrupted by mankind, all right? This is a good doggo right here that just happened to be born into the hands of a bad person. It's not his fault. We're still going to kill him. Don't get me wrong. I still have to kill him. At the end of the day, he's a Nazi dog. He's got to go. But I'm not going to relish it because were he raised in a better household, he could have been kind and loving and got lots of cuddles and squeaky toys. And it's not his fault. So we'll give him a good, clean death. You have a flank right there. Oh, we can actually hit him again. Well, that's good. Can I knock him out of cover? Ooh, I can. Yeah, get the dog out of cover then. Until he's out of cover, there is functionally very little I can do to kind of contribute to this combat. There's not a lot I can do while he's in cover. Cover in this game is like really, really strong. If you're in cover, you're in good shape in this game. Alright, and this is where ploy comes into play. We play ploy, and you see it removes his turn, and then we just get to like, you see what I mean? You automatically win any fight that you can get down to one enemy if you have ploy. It's a great ability. It's probably the best ability that you can get on any of your random mooks. It's just really, really good. And there goes the doggo. Alright, our first battle was an easy success, actually. A suspiciously easy success. Oh, they dropped loot. Nice. I'll take that. Yup, that can come with me. We'll just walk through the middle of this little firefight over here. There was a firefight! Although I would like to keep combat limited out here if I can help it. What I like to do is I like to complete my objectives first, and then with the time I have remaining, I'll run around the map and do all the events and find all the loot caches and fight more enemies and stuff like that. I do think it's a good idea. Even though you don't get XP or anything for killing enemies in this game, I do think it's a really good idea for you to go through and canvas the maps for ammo. If you get every single loot spot and you kill a lot of the patrols, you'll end up with like insane amounts of ammo. And if you don't do it, you're going to find yourself running out of ammo in the mid-game. And so I personally feel like it's a really, really good idea with these early missions to kind of get in there and find as much as you can and kind of stick it out for as long as you can and stay the course. Yeah, give me another single shot on the officer, please. I was hoping to kill him on that turn. I didn't want to waste another shot on him. Okay, so he put a buff on himself. Actually, that's perfect. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. You just made my life a lot easier. You effectively wasted your turn, and I don't have to deal with that buff after you're gone. I need this guy out of cover. Oh, really? You got knocked back. Okay. Go ahead and throw some first aid on Casimir. He's looking a little scuffed. He's looking a little bit dinged up. Alright, so who do we want to go after next? I'm thinking this guy right here is the weak link. We could also effectively go after... I mean, we could launch a missile at them. Yeah, let's do that. I'm never against the possibility of firing missiles at somebody. There are so few turn-based games that allow me the opportunity to fire a missile at somebody. You know, like I think XCOM is probably like one of the only ones that really allows me to fire missiles at people. And frankly, firing missiles at people is fun, and I enjoy doing it, except when I miss. I hate that. But anyways, he missed too, so what's even is even. You keep shooting it. You left him with 1 HP, man. Do you know how much I do not relish spending 1 AP trying to kill a 1 HP guy? I like bang for my buck. I'm a pragmatist. I can't help it. It's just who I am. And spending an AP to kill a guy that has 1 HP left is just not how I saw myself spending today. Just isn't. And another one bites the dust. But-a-dump, dump, dump. But-a-dump, dump, dump. Nazi gonna bite the dust. Casimir? What's going on, man? Why are you such a target today? The enemy does focus fire, as you can see. The enemy focuses fire, and they focus fire frequently. They very much enjoy focusing fire. And so, factor that in. You need to be focusing fire too, and killing enemies as fast as possible. If you don't, you're gonna regret it. Let's just bypass a turn for right now. I'm kind of chewing through heavy ammo right now, and I don't want to chew through heavy ammo anymore. We full auto the dog, maybe? 50% chance to hit. You. Okay. I think we're going to have to. Yeah, but it's a 50-50. Like, a coin flip is not... A coin flip is not a luck play that I'm usually a fan of, so... I'd prefer not to. Can we missile launcher the dog, maybe? It seems like a marked waste to fire a missile at a dog, but, like... It seems like a misallocation of weapons. Like, probably not fire rocket launchers at the dog. Well, we got him. I mean, 2 50% shots in a row. Definitely take that. Let me get my healer. And let's just continue patching people up. We can actually do this to Scum, too. If you've got Ploy, you can use Ploy to kind of cancel his turn a couple times in a row, and then just use your medic to heal everybody up while you wait. So there's Ploy right there. We'll go ahead and play that. There goes his turn. And so now what we can do is we can actually, like, spend the rest of our turn healing people and making sure they're at full health for the rest of the mission. We've already taken whatever wounds we're going to take. There's no getting around that now, but... Well, we got him through cover, so that's good. I was going to say, we are going to have to figure out a way to get him out from behind that barrel, otherwise he's going to take half damage the entire time. But the situation resolved itself. Whatever. I'm not going to complain about a situation that resolved itself that I don't have to worry about. I suggest we stay in this one a little bit longer, and we try to find that event. It may offer us an opportunity to get rid of the attrition that is on this zone, which would actually be a very, very powerful thing to kind of cancel out that early event. If nothing else, we'll also see if we can find ourselves some, like, loot or some other goodies around. I don't know exactly where I started on this map, but I'm just going to kind of, like, tool around the edges and see if I can find anything good here. There's only a few patrols left, and we found 2 or 3 of them, so there should be only, like, 1 patrol remaining. So there's the last one. If the eyeball is open, if you step inside that red, you'll get attacked. If the eye is closed, doesn't really matter. You can walk through it. There doesn't seem to be any rhythm sometimes to, like, the way that the eyeball system works, but, you know, I try not to worry about it. We have a distraction here. To everyone's surprise, a lone and completely unaccounted for trio of Panther tanks rolls forward down the street. Their presence here is unusual and quite disconnected from any Nazi presence in the area that you're aware of. Although engaging these tanks in the open fight would be suicidal, you may yet somehow leverage the element of surprise to take them out with explosives, if you can remain undetected. So with endurance, we don't really have a lot there, and we don't really have a lot there either. The best we have is a 60% chance. And against tanks, that's kind of risky. Like, I'd prefer like a 70-80% if I was going to roll the dice on it. You maintain a brisk pace while tailing the tanks, always making sure to keep them in your sights. An eventual collapsed building in their path causes the tanks to slow down greatly in search of another route. Your team uses that opportunity to position themselves within close distance to the vehicles. The time to act is now. There you go. Chaos ensues. Amidst the explosive havoc, one of the tanks catches fire, leading to a screaming panic among the crew and thus easy pickings for the team. Many tense minutes later, you ascertain your trophies. 2 Panthers destroyed beyond all hope, 1 damaged but ultimately serviceable. The tank may yet fight for the uprising. Oh, wow, we took the tank. Very nice. And we got 30 bucks worth of supplies. Sounds good to me. No complaints from my peanut gallery. We've got loot over here. So I'm going to try and get my hands on that because that's going to be important. Yeah, a little bit more ammo and a flare gun. I actually don't use the flare guns. I just sell them. The flare guns are worth 10 bucks a piece. So I usually just sell all the flare guns I find because I don't really use them in missions. I mean, they are useful. Don't get me wrong. The flare guns are fantastic. So you know the little arrows while I'm walking around the map? It will actually fill those in and tell you what it is if you're within like a certain radius. And so it is like a useful item. So we've got attrition in almost every single zone right now, which is not good this early in the game, but we're going to persevere and see how we do. We've got Henrik. I've actually never gotten this character before. The second day, you always get a free character. Always. A random free character. Unusual news breaks out today, spurring a mixture of excitement and surprise, perhaps due to some unspoken need for greater discipline. It would seem that the Home Army has chosen to attach an officer, a major, to lend direct aid to your field efforts. So we have Henrik. I've never gotten this character, so I don't know what he does. Let's have a look at him. I've gotten most of the characters at this point. I think there's only the officer and the engineer and the flamethrower guy are the 3 that I haven't gotten yet, but I've gotten all of them except for that guy. Let's see here. He's an SMG fighter. He uses the Bliskovice. I'm probably butchering that. We want to get that swapped out for a Sten gun as soon as possible. The Sten gun is by far the best SMG in the game, by a huge margin. This gun kind of sucks and doesn't deal much damage. But if you can get your SMG guys, if you can get every single one of them a Sten gun, you will start cleaning house, because the Sten gun is disgusting in this game. It's really, really, really good. It does crazy damage. It has crazy accuracy. Like, all of its abilities knock enemies back and out of cover. Like, it's just an amazing gun. It deals a ton of damage while also filling a support role. But the Bliskovice sucks, so don't get too excited. This thing is hot garbage. We'll swap it out, though. Don't worry. We'll get a replacement weapon. It's just going to take some time. So he's got maintain formation. Redeploy all allies to their original positions. Oh, that's nice. That's a good little ability for when you get shook up. I like it. I think that's an ability that's probably going to get a lot of use. It's situational, but it's like critically important situational. We've got superior command. Gain an additional activation for the party. Oh, wow. I can see that backfiring, though, because you only have so much stamina. And, like, even with 4 activations, I'm running out of stamina pretty quickly. And so that might backfire on me, maybe. We've got coordinated position. Increase the dodge chance of the officer and his adjacent allies by 10%. It's not bad. Both of those are pretty strong. All resistance is up. That's pretty good, too. And then we've got Embolden over here, which restores a point of stamina in exchange for 2 of his stamina, I guess. Oh, but it's an AoE. I see. Not bad. He's got Kill Shot, which doesn't appear to be altogether that special. Guess it's got high crit. It's got really high crit. And then he's also got No Quarter over here, which blinds the enemy and has, like, perfect accuracy. So I'd probably take No Quarter if I had to pick something over here. But what we want is... well, what do I want to take right now? I don't know. You can use a dirty trick on the enemy. Oh, and it's an AoE too. What we want is that ability right there, Scavenger. Now, Scavenger makes it so you loot a bunch of ammo at the end of every combat, and it basically offsets all the losses that you have. We do want Rifle Grenade at some point too, but actually probably will save this commendation so that I can level her up and get ongoing care, because it's just too good to skip out on. Everybody else is going to kind of suffer as far as their equipment and everything else goes, because, like, I need that to happen. What kind of weapons can he use? So he can only use revolvers and SMGs. Okay. Well, we'll try to get him. I haven't found any revolvers that I've really liked. So far, the revolvers that I've found while playing the game is I found the Nagant, I found a Webley, and I found, like, a 1906, like, Colt, like, 357 or something like that. Like, or maybe, like, a 38 or something like that. But the only one worth using so far is the Nagant. The Webley was too weak, and the American gun, it has, like, an armor-piercing ability, if I remember correctly. But it's a situational gun that you would only use on missions where you're, like, fighting with tanks or mechanized infantry or whatever. APCs and the like. Because, yes, you will be fighting APCs and stuff in this game. Fair warning, there will be APCs and whatnot to fight. Now, let's go ahead and sell off some of those right there just to get our cash stacks back up. And we've got plenty of med kits. We didn't get a lot of compasses on the last mission, which is a bit of a bummer. But hopefully we'll pick up a few more. We've got a busted grenade over here. We can fix that, although I don't know what the grenade is going to do. So a number 82 gammon bomb. Okay, so it looks like it's just like a plastic bag full of, like, probably like beads or something. I don't know. Can we equip that on, like, anybody? Who can equip a grenade? None of my guys can equip a grenade, and so that's apparently for a character that we don't have right now. Our options, because it was very, very expensive, are sort of limited. I think we should probably sell it. I have no doubt that it would be useful, but we're at least, like, 3 missions away from our next character that we get, and, like, it's going to sit in my inventory. I would rather have supplies right now. That way I can continue kind of fleshing out my backlog of random characters. So there you go. We've got a couple of extra healers. We've got another guy with ploy. I treat these dudes like gold. You got to have the guys with ploy. Ploy is just too good not to utilize. I also wanted to check and see if we have any excursions. Excursions-wise, we can reinforce Wola, Mokotau, or Zola Bors. Do any of those places need it? Nah, they're all fine. I mean, they're all a little bit... They're all a little bit dinked right now, but they'll be okay. My name is Splattercat. This is Warsaw. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm actually really becoming a believer in this game. The pre-release client that I played definitely had some flaws and some rough edges that were kind of rubbing me the wrong way, but in the last couple days, they fixed all of those problems. Like, almost unanimously, they've fixed all of those issues, which shows that the development team is essentially, they know what the weaknesses of their game are, and they're focusing heavily on that. In addition, they've also released their roadmap, like I said earlier, so you can expect a lot of content to be added to this game over the next month. Like, actually a surprising amount of content. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below. I'd love to do some more of it, and that's how I check if people are engaged. Hi, do and take care, everybody. Have something hot and fresh for you in the world of indie gaming tomorrow.